Hi, I'm Todd Nathanson.
And I'm Lena Morgan. Surprise.
This is a Song vs. Song bonus episode exclusive. Well, it's not exclusive. It's a bonus episode. We do it every year. We talk about the MTV VMAs. We have a special guest in the studio with us today.
Yeah, in the studio.
Yes. We have Lady Emily Bray, here with us tonight. We've had her on the show before, and we had to pull you into this one. We don't usually have a guest when we do the VMAs, but we did not know if Lena was going to be here.
I got a new face, and I was like, surely after like 5 days, I am not going to be crazy enough to be like, I'm watching the VMAs, and then I'm going to run a podcast. But I am, in fact, deeply, deeply unwell. I've never taken my hand off the wheel, not even for a second, and so here we are.
You get their recovery papers from the doctor. They're like, get bed rest, take your medicine at this and this hour. Don't watch the VMAs.
And yet here you are, still like audibly convalescing.
I cannot be Todd.
You're still like your voice is cracking. Like we can hear that you are, still recovering from this.
I'm in a weird place for sure. Anyway, yes. So. More interesting than me.
God forbid I told Emily when we thought you weren't going to be able to do it that she should just do an impression of you, but like slightly worse.
Well, that's where I'm at anyway, so it's fine.
I was preparing. I was like, I'm going to nail this. I'm going to not nail this, but slightly nail this.
Yeah, you just
now
have
all
to
that work.
New Jersey reference,
Star Trek a lot.
Corny jokes.
Kevin Smith, Romulans.
Yeah, see? You got it. You're good.
All right. Since I made you watch the VMAs also, you have to be here also. And this is interesting to me to have a third person in here, especially you, because I don't think you were even born yet the last time MTV was relevant.
No, growing up, MTV for me was the channel of Next and Parental Control. I don't They're reality shows. I don't know anything about music.
No, that's interesting. Did you? I was like, there's a good chance you have never watched MTV as a human being.
I've seen some.
You have no fond memories of it.
No, I'm a Beavis and Butthead fan, but I got that from my dad, and it wasn't like I was tuning in on MTV when it was happening. It was just a thing we watched. Otherwise, we never kept the channel on MTV except for the dumb reality shows, like Pimp My Ride, Next,
have you ever watched a VMA?
No, not in its entirety.
This is incredible.
Have you ever watched even a clip from the VMAs?
I've probably seen clips over the years. Yeah, there's a lot of iconic moments. I mean, that was one of the funniest parts about the night was that they kept showing flashback clips to these iconic VMA things like Britney and the Snake, Michael Jackson performing, Madonna's Vogue, and then it's here's Camila Cabello.
All right, well, this is it's something we suffer through because we do remember the VMAs back when they mattered, back when Taylor Swift wasn't just powering them to existence just by her presence every year. Can I say I really like this VMAs? It might be the best one we've ever covered.
Really?
I don't know if that's going to be a common opinion.
There are for sure. I don't disagree.
I was actually enjoying it for the most part, even though the artists who I don't like, at least for those first couple hours. By the time we hit that last hour, we were really, really crawling through molasses as always. But for a while, I was really enjoying this one. What did you think, Lena?
I think that they really hit it by having Megan Thee Stallion as a host. A wise choice.
Charming woman, Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, because she's genuine, but she's game, right? She's fine. She'll sell Burger King or whatever the fuck, right? She doesn't care, and she'll put on the Britney Spears "I'm a Slave for You" outfit and be like, I don't know this snake, which is great. So I think that is a not insignificant part of the strength of this one. But also, if you watch the pre-show, the thing that some years you'll get is that the people that are there really all want to, I don't know, they want to juice each other up. Like, they really genuinely like each other's stuff. They want them to do well. They want to help promote their things. Like, it feels like, you know, in between the targeted ads, there's actually a significant amount of artists who like other artists. And I think that when you see that in the pre-show, it tends to bleed through into the actual show. And it bleeds through into the performances because, like, if you feel hyped up by your friends who are there, you're going to give a better performance. So I think that is a big part of it, too.
How did you feel about the show? Oh, let's say, what was the highlight of the show for you guys?
I feel like this is an easy question.
Yes, I'm starting with an easy one on purpose.
It was the Katy Perry part, obviously. Duh.
Obviously. I think we're all in unanimous agreement.
No, it's Chappell Roan.
It's Chapell Roan. It's a star-making performance right there. That's like for a second, I had like this brief fantasy that the VMAs were going to be relevant again just off of this performance. It was a really good performance. They lucked out in that the biggest artist of the year they can book because this is her first opportunity to be booked. So she was game and she fucking killed it tonight. I think that's like the first VMA performance in years that I'm going to remember. Like, how long have we been doing this, Lena?
6, I think. I think this is the 6th one we've done.
I can't remember a single performance of we've done it every year, and I can't think of anything that's happened.
I think that there was, I think the first History of Rap thing they did.
Oh, right. That was a good one.
That sticks out to me. That I remember as being like, and that was maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah, that was a good one.
But no,
that was at the Grammys.
Oh, was it? God damn it.
Yeah, and they did a much weaker one for MTV.
That's right. Well, never fucking mind.
I remember the Kendrick Lamar one where he sang All Right with like the Wall of Fire.
That would have been before we started doing it.
Yeah. And then even then I didn't watch the entire show. I just watched that segment and I was like, wow, that was a good segment.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like, man, I remember BTS when they blew up, they did a really good performance. And I was like, no, that was the Grammys again. I think Good Luck Babe by Chappell Roan is probably the best thing the MTV VMAs have had in quite a long time.
And also, it wasn't just like, so she gave that performance, which was great. And then, they kept going like, it's a tight race for best new artist.
There was no shot in hell that they were going to give it to Gracie Abrams or Teddy Swims.
Yeah, I was like, it's not a tight race, but okay. I mean, I understand that you have to say that. But the thing is that, like, so Chappell Roan, in addition to being an incredible performer, she got up on stage, and she is, as the kind of natural counterpoint to Megan Thee Stallion, also incredibly genuine, right? Like, she feels a lot more humble, right? Like, obviously, there's a certain braggadociousness to what Meg does. And Chappell, like, obviously has got, like, big drag queen energy, but she does feel kind of, like, soft and more reserved by comparison for herself. But, like I'd said to you that, like, there's a degree of, like, artists loving other artists and trying to glow each other up. Chappell Roan came out and was like, I'm going to glow up the drag queens, the queers, and the trans people, and acknowledge that these are the people who inspire me and who inspire pop art and have done so forever. And I was like, if I was a kid watching Chappell Roan came out in the 1980s, she would have saved my fucking life. Like, I couldn't even tell you who I would be, but I would be different. And that was the thing. Like, I watched her and I was like, she just inspires people every day. Like, I wish that the MTV VMAs had more power than they do. But on the other hand, they don't really need to because she's just everywhere.
That song doesn't have a video yet. So as far as I'm concerned, and it may never have a video. So as far as I'm concerned, that is the official music video for Good Luck Babe. And that is what I'm going to use when I have to put it in a list in 4 months.
Yes, I wonder which of the lists it's going to wind up on.
You don't know.
Yeah, you actually hated the song the whole time. Great performance, dog shit song.
I mean, we can talk about this later, but there were several songs on there which I am not during the night that I am not a fan of, that I thought the performance was really good. So, all right, I think this is a star-making night for Chapell Roan, but let me ask, did you think anyone else really killed it tonight?
That's a tricky one. Like, Sabrina Carpenter, but I kind of, like, I wouldn't say blew me away. It was just kind of like, yeah, I expected a really good performance. I got a really good performance out of that. Kissed an alien. That was cool.
One thing I want to say, I did appreciate that Chapell Roan just did the one song, because I kind of thought she would do a medley. And I kind of like appreciate that she had just the one song and she let it breathe.
Yeah, although there's a part of me that was like, that performance was so good that I would have, like, I think I just wanted to watch a concert at that point. I was just like, yeah, fuck it, I'm locked in now.
Like, I think we should really give it to Benson Boone, though. You don't think? Benson Boone really killed it.
He did 2 flips.
Yeah, it was Night of 1,000 Flips.
Twice as many flips as every other performer on the stage this night.
I didn't dislike Benson Boone's song, Beautiful Things. Didn't dislike it the first time I heard it, and then over the course of this year, I've grown to really dislike it.
It's got big AWOL Nation energy, and like that's never really been my vibe.
Yeah, if AWOL Nation were a Christian rock band.
Yeah, it was. I listened to it and I was like, this song sounds familiar, but I don't think I've ever heard of this artist before. And then it got like more and more into it. I was like, oh, I hear this all the fucking time in Target. This is a Target ass song.
So when I say that there were songs tonight that I don't like, where I thought the performance killed, Benson Boone is exactly who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I've kind of figured.
Like I was prepared to not like that performance, and I was like, okay, he's really going for it. This is actually really good, and that's the part where I realized, Christ, I think I'm actually enjoying the VMAs for once. Like, even Benson Boone is bringing his A game. He did several flips. They were really impressive flips, and he didn't miss a note. I don't know. Maybe there is something to this Benson Boone guy that I'm missing, because I was pretty impressed.
Yeah. No.
Of all people, like, I expected that to suck, and it was actually really good. So it's made me feel a little fonder of the song, even. So
I'm going to say something that I think might be controversial, but also maybe not.
Okay.
Katy Perry was good.
She was. She was.
I mean,
she did that Vegas residency for a long time, and like you can tell, she is a well-oiled machine.
I mean, we were all like the reason I asked you, Emily, specifically to join me on this is because you have of all the people I know, you have had the most fun dunking on that goddamn Katy Perry song.
I fucking love dunking on Woman's World. It sucks so bad. I got so excited when they started playing the opening of it at the beginning of the performance. I was like, yes, okay, perfect.
Play the song that almost single-handedly untransed me.
Yeah. Yeah, and then she cowered out and she played the Greatest Hits collection. She's very good at playing the Greatest Hits collection, but I think I would have respected her if she sucked on stage more.
Yeah, if she played her awful flop song, she went down with the Titanic.
Yeah, it's like, go big. You have an album coming out in 9 days.
I like that that after she did the performance, she came out and talked for a while, and there was some heat. Some resentful heat coming off of that woman. Like, she was mad. She has been tired of being, asked about Dr. Luke. She's had it. And I was like, you know what? You deserve to be asked about it. You fucking made this bed. You're going to have to lie in it. But, like, I kind of appreciate that she was a bitch a little bit. I was like, thank you. Thank you. It was this
fun multi-part unfolding of a speech where it's like, start out with joke about kids, transition to joke about period, talk about taking Twitter off your phone, talk about touching grass.
I love that
talk about not getting into discourse.
She talked
about the gays.
She talked about her period twice. She talked about it in the pre-interview, like at the pre-show. She announced it, and I don't know that she was intending to do it then. And then I think she decided, she was like, this is good for me. This,
I love
I don't
the
know why
phrasing of announced it like
she keeps
she's
thinking
pregnant.
she's so convinced that this is what's going to get her out of trouble, which is so wild to me. Because, like, you know, they asked her about Dr. Luke, and she was like, I made a human soul with arms and fingers. Aren't I neat? And I was like, cool, human woman. That's all right. And then she was like, by the way, I'm not doing that right now. So menstruation. And I was like, okay, Katy Perry, we all get it. You are a human cis woman. We got it.
Boy, those attacks on social media, she was very close to saying up yours, woke moralists. She was edging right up to it.
I loved it.
So funny.
I loved it. I was so pleased. I was like, do it.
She was talking about not being online and not engaging in discourse or interacting with hate comments with the same passion of someone that you know is name searching themselves at every single moment of the day.
Yeah, I was like, you should be friends with Brianna Wu. The two of you would get along.
Yeah, but like, I agree that you were correct. She was good tonight. Her hits still hold up. The ones she performed, the two songs that are new that she did performed are not like horrifically embarrassing, even though you are never going to have to worry about them. But she did not perform Woman's World, and you know, she is like a pro. She is. I did see her in Vegas. As funny as this disastrous rollout has been, it does make me feel sad, because I was rooting for Katy Perry for that big comeback before. You know, a friend of mine has always said, like, a Katy Perry comeback sounds good in theory. It was never going to survive contact with actual new Katy Perry music.
Yeah. And I mean, I think the good performance just kind of makes it even sadder, right? Because it's like, you see her perform, you see her do all these like greatest hits that she's had and kill it and have this great like showmanship and stage presence and all this cool like effects and stuff. And you're like, wow, you know, she's really good. She can really do a good job performing. I like these songs. I want to see more of this. I'm rooting for her in a weird way. And then you're like, oh, but also...
But she's still the person that keeps working with Dr. Luke. And you're like...
She's still the person that keeps working with Dr. Luke.
And she's like, what? You know, and people were like, you can't blame a woman for a man's actions. And you're like, oh my God, please. The girl bossing that we're doing over here. Can we just be real for a second?
You have to be considerate, though. This is a woman's world.
It is. We're lucky to be living in Katy Perry's world. We're so lucky. Listen, that song is terrible. It has been hilarious making fun of it. It's been, I mean, like, I can never say that I'm not grateful to Katy Perry for giving me a song so awful that we can all collectively dunk on it.
It's like the one time we've had a monoculture in forever. Yeah,
it's been a while. But, like, the performance was great. She did a great job. And, like, she's not incapable. It's just that, like, if she would just learn this one lesson, this one cool life hack, don't work with Dr. Luke, she would be fine.
No, I don't think that's true. Because she's not a very good artist.
Yeah,
but she is weird, and I feel like if she like ventured outwards and found more weirdos, you know, like make more fucking ET shit, you know, like go for it. Like she's bizarre, and like I think if she really embraced that instead of like this weird post irony thing that I think she was doing with Women's World, like I don't know.
I don't know what
everything
Women's
about
World.
that was so strange.
I think the weird thing for me when it comes to Katy Perry is I feel like she's constantly trying to like get back that Teenage Dream era success. You know, even tonight they were like, she's the only female artist to have 5 number ones off of one album. It's like, yeah, okay, that's incredible. Also, it's been 15 years.
Yeah, I was like, she performed so well. Like, she'd better be. She's been performing these songs for 15 years.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, and you know, she got the quarterback that a touchdown that won the football game in high school. She could have gone pro. But it's weird because she keeps going after Teenage Dream. I actually think she would probably be better off at this moment in time trying to go back to that One of the Boys style of like Kiss a Girl and Waking Up in Vegas and stuff like that, of like that kind of edgier, a little bit more like sort of towards the Olivia Rodrigo angle of things.
Well, you know,
But I don't know if she's capable of that.
I don't know. I saw her say that Chapell Roan is the best, a couple of weeks ago, and I was thinking, it's like, Katy Perry, you can absolutely call Chapell Roan one of your descendants. You can call Sabrina Carpenter one of your descendants, and that just kind of makes her failure to seize this moment even more stark. Like her style of music is, it can succeed if it's good, and this is not.
Yeah, it's, you have to decide, do you want woman's world or feminine phenomenon?
That's it. And if I'm going to have somebody's cringe, I'm taking Chappell's. Carol G. I feel like, listen, we were kind of going through like things we liked, and I feel like it's, I mean, like, I don't know why I'm trying to give a glove to Carol G. Like nobody knows who she is, but like, the song that she performed was very nice. Like there were like two old folks dancing up on the stage, and I was like, I can relate to this. I was like, this is what I want. I am that old couple.
I am a bit of a reggaeton moron, as always. That hasn't changed. I didn't realize I liked Carol G until like literally tonight. But I was like, yeah, I like this song. I've heard it a bunch of times, and actually, I've decided I like it.
You like Carol G. You definitely do. If you took the time to sit down and listen to her stuff, I think that you would really enjoy her.
I like. She already had one song I really like called "Mi Ex Tiene Razón," and I'm looking up this one, her new one that's on the radio right now. Si antes te hubiera conocido. That means if we'd met earlier, and like. It's a good little song, and I liked it. And I'm not generally into reggaeton, but I did like that performance.
Yeah, I mean, that like as far as artists that like dip into reggaeton, but like do all kinds of stuff. Like Kali Uchis is my girl. Like,
I've always liked Kali Uchis.
Yeah, like OK Diaz, the album that she put out this year is like absolutely fire, so good. But I think that Karol G's got a lot of that in her too, and so like it's kind of cool to see her. At the VMAs and give a song that was like nice and like kind of like, I don't know, like it's like soft, passionate. I was like, this is nice. And it was just nice. It was just really appealing. And I was like, right, Carol G. I should go back to listening to her. And I bet if I saw her concert, it would be incredible.
Yeah, this was my introduction to her, and I really liked the song right away. I was like, oh, I don't. Not familiar with her, but I'm listening to this and I'm like, oh, this reminds me of like having a nice pool party, like, and just having some drinks with friends and stuff like that and hanging out. It's very chill. It's very sweet. I really liked it. And it was a great palate cleanser after fucking Eminem.
Oh, right. We should start with the opener. That was like the big deal. They booked him at the last minute. Back at the top of the charts. Mr. Marshall Mathers, Slim Shady is back, baby. Guess who's back? Back again. How do you feel about the return of Slim Shady?
Bad.
Not good?
Not good. I haven't listened to the full Death of Slim Shady album or whatever it's called. I stopped listening to Eminem after Marshall Mathers LP2 when I was like, I think I've outgrown this.
Good place to stop.
Yeah.
Good place to stop.
I was like... Because I used to be really big into Eminem. I really liked, those first few albums. I grew up as a white hip hop fan, so of course I listened to Eminem. And then I was just like, oh, this is just getting kind of corny and not good. And then every time he'd be like, I'm doing a comeback album that's going to be a return to my roots. I'm like, okay, I'm going to listen to it.
He's done that so many times. It feels like he's done this like 15 times now.
People keep promising that he's gotten better now. I listened to all of Kamikaze. I just remembered that I listened to all of Kamikaze. And I was like, the only track I remember from that is fucking Venom. Venom.
His best song of that decade.
It's very... Here's how I knew that song was going to be bad immediately. Before he really even did anything, I was like, the Steve Miller Band? Not cool.
I can tell you he picked Abracadabra because it has the same rhythm as Without Me.
Yeah.
Guess who's back? Back again.
And I knew it was going to be bad the moment I listened to it, and it just starts with that fucking exact same goddamn phone skit, exact same goddamn Guess Who's Back. It is the saddest, most pathetic thing in the world. Of once again, I scored the big touchdown in high school. I could have gone pro. Remember how good I was?
Yeah,
I mean,
one, but two Al Bundys on the stage tonight. You remember me, Al Bundy? Poke high?
I mean, there were
Three
several.
touchdowns in one game?
There were several later in the evening, but like Eminem came out with the Army of Slim Shadys, just like he did back in the year 2000, and I was like, boy, that was 24 years ago. I was like, good news, Lena. We're it's the early 2000s again, and we're young and beautiful. Nothing has changed. Literally nothing has changed for MTV. We are reaching back already. We are reaching back 25 years in the past, and that's how we're starting out with, because this is MTV. Christ.
I think Houdini is Eminem's worst song I've ever heard from him. I just straight up do not like it on any level. I think the lyrics are so bad. Like, the songs are bad. The fact that it's like his big opener, that it's his big comeback hit, is baffling to me.
My shame is that after a dozen listens, like the sad little Eminem fan in me started to groove to it. The first time I heard it, it was like, it is definitely the worst thing he's ever made. So I'm ashamed to say that it's kind of grown on me a little, because like the lyrics are.
It's the thing for me with the lyrics is that I'm not even like, oh, I find them tasteless, I find them offensive. I just find them fucking stupid. They're dumb.
No, like, there's never going to be a point where I think that Megan Thee Stallion line is anything but like the saddest thing he's ever made.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even a single entendre. It's like I had to like have it explained to me like how this is even a joke, like how the punchline worked. Like, let's stop worrying about if it's offensive. Just like, let's say it's bad. Let's just say it's bad first, and then we can move on to whether it's offensive. And I was like, man, Megan Thee Stallion is hosting tonight.
Yeah.
That feels it.
And then he moved on to that Jelly Roll song, which was also bad, but like in a different way.
Yeah, every bad Eminem song is bad in one of two ways, and he showed them both tonight.
Love an artist with range.
Yeah, like too jokey but not funny, and too sincere
but not touching.
Yeah,
it's really funny because like both of those songs remind me a lot of Lose Yourself from, or just Lose It or whatever it's called, from fucking Relapse, and then Mockingbird, where it's like they're both these fucking like goofy and then weird, serious growing up song. And it's just like, why are you going back to this style?
Those are from Encore, I think.
Oh, from Encore, yeah.
Relapse was the awful one that was very similar to Encore.
My mistake.
It's like you confused load and reload. What's wrong with you?
Forgive me.
Man.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Todd, watching that and realizing that is basically a quarter century ago. Did I show you the video of the old woman with her urn?
No.
So there's a video of a woman when like this guy is like, here's this thing in your house. What is this? And she's like, that's my urn. She's like, I'll be dead someday. And like, I want everybody to know where I belong. And it's in this urn. And I'm like, why would you buy it? You seem so pleased. And she was like, well, I'm 85, turning a hard 86. I can't walk. I can't eat. I can't see. Can't do anything. So the urn seems like a pretty good alternative. And then she says, I yearn for the urn. And I have to tell you, she's the most relatable human being that I've ever seen in my life. And seeing that and realizing that, like, that original performance is basically 25 years ago, I was like, I heard her in my head. I was like, I yearn for the urn.
Well, for the record, you don't sound like an old lady because you're actually an old lady. That's still you recovering from surgery.
It is true. I was leaning in and doing her voice a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. If you're like, why is that voice so weird? It's because A, my whole face is swollen, and B, I'm freeform disassociating because I have a new face that is still fresh on, and it's weird. Anyway,
all right.
Anything else that we want to talk about that was good for the night?
Let me see here. Like the energy kind of. I liked Glorilla. I've
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah.
I was big on the Glorilla
Loved
train
her,
early.
her vaginal health PSA. It was very nice.
Yeah, Glow. No, I was worried that Glorilla was one of those people I stumped for that you would never hear again. So like her blowing up this year has been very gratifying, and I'm very glad for her. I got a win. I got a right prediction here.
Yeah.
So her I liked a lot.
I liked LL Cool J, although it was a weird note to end the show on.
I'm not sure I was feeling that.
Yeah, I also it felt really underwhelming. Do we? I mean, we talked about Meg hosting. She did a little medley.
Yeah.
Didn't like it.
Really? I'm surprised.
I didn't like it. I mean, she wasn't rapping.
It was a lot of pre-recorded, yeah, which I definitely noticed.
It seemed like she was supposed to be rapping, and then she just forgot the lines. So because she was like not rapping a lot of the time for some reason, it was weird.
Yeah.
I mean, she did rap her biggest, still one of the best lines of the year. She has that under her belt. She
did get the Megan's Law line out there, yes. but
it did feel weird to me that she was just dancing along to her songs a lot of the time. And I like that song she does with the Japanese rapper, but I'm not sure like he had the energy you would need for like a big awards show. Kakashi Bashita. Sta.
Yeah, especially not for the last song of that set. It was a strange ending point. Zoe Kravitz's dad, I didn't know he did music, but he was cool.
Oh man, we were like that was like it felt like we were really scraping the bottom of the barrel there. That we got Lenny Kravitz, who has kind of just like taken up permanent residence at award shows.
In spite of the fact that we have not been going his way for a long time.
They gave him an award, not on screen, but like they gave him best rock performance. So like, what happened to this genre?
I saw them hand it to him and like talk to him about it in the pre-show, and he was just like, yeah, we're keeping rock and roll alive, and I'm just always happy to do new music. I'm like, Lenny Kravitz?
I don't know, man. There had to have been somebody, anybody. Like, I mean, like at least like a couple of years ago, they would put on like Måneskin, and I was like, yeah, I mean, they have a song out. Yeah.
It's like I know that there's rock music out there.
Oh yeah, but
there's no reason to give this to Cinna from the Hunger Games.
At least
the last relevant thing he did was acting.
Yeah,
and he's not an actor.
At least Dave Grohl's keeping the spirit of rock and roll alive, I guess. But like.
Yeah, well,
is he ever?
he's keeping all kinds of things alive these days. Got him.
I don't know if I would call it a highlight of the night, but I did find it very funny every time they switched to Teddy Swims on the Doritos extended play stage, where he was banished and forced to do covers.
That was amazing. The Doritos stage was maybe the worst thing of the night. But yes, what was that thing? We were joking about his banishment, and I said some fucking dumb thing about like to the coldest side of the ranch. Be gone
of the Cool Ranch. Yes, I mean we didn't really talk about Sabrina Carpenter. We mentioned her once, and that she was definitely one of the performers I was looking most forward to, and it was fun.
Yeah,
I liked that song. I liked all those songs. Oh, I kind of not really into Please, 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 honestly, but.
I wish that I felt like those songs I think are kind of tricky just because like, I don't know. I like those songs fine, but like there's a kind of like cool energy to them. Do you know what I mean? Like they're not like, they don't feel like really like intense, powerful songs. They're kind of mellow in their way. And so as a live performance, I find that like, I don't know how you turn those songs into something that is like really exciting to see live, I guess.
Yeah, I definitely like, especially with Espresso, where it's like the thing that I think really highlights it is just how controlled it kind of sounds in a way that was hard to replicate in the live version. I think out of all of those, Taste was the one that made the translation the best to a live show performance, but maybe that's just because of the alien. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw Sabrina Carpenter last year before she really blew up, and it's like not surprised at all that she is like one of the biggest things in the world right now. I thought it was a good performance, but like not quite the knockout I was hoping for.
Yeah.
What I was like, maybe I'm kind of a little opposed to medleys in awards shows. Maybe I think you should stick to one song.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Doing a medley of "Good Luck, Babe," if Chapell Roan had done that, that would have been like really uncharitable to it.
Yeah,
because
like that song kind of needs the whole thing. You can't really do that and be like, we're gonna do this, Hot to Go and Pink Pony Club, like, because those are like the songs.
Yeah,
right? Like I guess like Red Wine Supernova is like the other one, but like it's kind of those three at this moment. And they just don't make, like, how would you even make a medley out of that? That would just feel so wrong.
It would just be three songs next to each other. Yeah,
so, like, maybe that's something people might want to, consider next time. Maybe stick to your best song.
Yeah.
Yeah, learn from Chappell Roan. She really got it right.
Wield a sword. This is the lesson.
Oh, my God.
And a crossbow, yes.
Weirdly, one of the most impressive things I saw this night is when she threw the sword toward one of her dancers and just fucking caught it perfectly. I don't know why. I'm always fascinated by little moments like that. I'm like, oh, wow, they didn't mess up.
The next time she has a castle, though, I want her to go in like full like Simon Belmont, like a whip. Like I want a Castlevania era.
Knocks the candles off the gate.
Yeah.
Meat comes out.
Chapelvania. That's what I want.
All right.
Give me a Symphony of the Night. You could do it. I believe in you.
I feel like we have to talk about the other highlight that we can all agree on was a highlight, which was Shawn Mendes debuting a brand new song on stage.
No one has more deserved the Doritos stage but didn't get it than Shawn Mendes. When will it end? Todd, has Shawn Mendes ever been good? You would know.
I like that, there's nothing holding me back. Take my... I liked Lost in Japan, too. That's pretty good.
I was about to say, didn't he do it?
That's kind of how I knew I was enjoying the night, in that I could put up with this Shawn Mendes song, which clearly wasn't good. And I was like, but I'm still in a good mood. Even though I don't think I'm going to hear that Shawn Mendes song again. I don't think I'm going to hear any Shawn Mendes song again after tonight. I would be surprised if Shawn Mendes becomes a presence in my life from here on out.
I wish we could say the same for Camila Cabello, who also had a song that was just dreadful.
Camila Cabello, I was going to ask, so what do you think is the low light of the night? And just like Chapell Roan was like the obvious unanimous pick, there's another unanimous pick here too. I'm pretty sure, right?
It was Camila Cabello.
I mean, it depends on if we're counting what's her face from the Doritos stage.
Oh, fucking Jessie Murph.
Let's say
the actual worst. The actual worst is her. But yeah, of like the main people, the people that you'd ever heard of before, prior to this, it's definitely Camila Cabello, who was like, "Here's a manufactured emotion for you. You like Olivia Rodrigo, right? Here." This is me trying to do like her genuine thing, but in a way that's clearly fucking fake beyond belief.
Just consistently one of our worst pop stars. Ugh.
I was shocked by the presentation of the entire thing, because everyone else gets these big elaborate sets. Chappell got a fucking castle. Sabrina Carpenter came down on a guy, like a giant fucking astronaut. Meanwhile, Camila Cabello's just like in a fucking glass tube singing to a laptop.
I will say this for Camila Cabello, she has definitely started to take some real chances. She is not playing it safe. She is like letting herself go wild. It's not paying dividends.
Yeah.
It just means she's bad in a different way now.
She's taking chances, but not in a way that's interesting, in like a Velma Kelly final act of desperation sort of taking chances.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm like, who sunk their cost into this fallacy? Because there's just nothing there, and there really hasn't been for such a long time that it's like somebody sunk all their capital. Like they bet it all on her. and they're just spending their last pennies trying to make this thing work. And I was like, I'm pretty sure at this point, he's not going to happen.
Will Fifth Harmony fans still kill you for saying stuff like that? Are they still ride or die?
I mean, I don't want to say I don't care, but like you'll see when this episode goes live.
Yeah.
You'll discover that the comment section is always 90% people who hate me. And like, some of that is because I'm genuinely awful, but a lot of it is also stans. And I've never particularly cared about that.
Yeah. It's just, what a weird, bad performance from a performer who is just not given anything in years.
I don't know, like, weird is just not her brand, and she was like very weird on this last album in parts, like that bizarro attempt at hyperpop that they kept playing during the commercials.
Oh god, that fucking beer commercial they kept playing over and over again with the worst song I've ever heard in my life playing over it every single commercial break. That was the low light of the night for me. That doesn't count, but it was bad.
The other low light, I think we already mentioned. For what it's worth, I am extremely against any award show performance that does not happen in the building. If you're not in the building, get off my TV. That's not a real performance. That doesn't count. Mm-hmm. This year they had the Doritos stage where they gave two people, Teddy Swims and Jesse Murph, the opportunity to like be on screen and perform like 20 seconds of their songs in between commercials.
And then also of like popular songs from like VMAs past.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where they put the artists who are like actually successful, like have had hits, but have no star power. That's what happened. Teddy Swims has had a couple hits this year, but he's got no star power. So he off the stage he goes. He does the same thing he always does. He feels like he should be on American Idol, not anywhere else. He should be on The Voice. But he was certainly better than Jesse Murph, who was terrible. It was just like a truly awful, like she's got, that a weird kind of baby voice, but like they found a way for it to work for her to have hits doing it. But like she was stretching herself beyond her capabilities tonight. It sounded bad.
It was giving like pop star doing national anthem for every single fucking song. And it was the fact that it wasn't even like songs. It was just, she would just over sing the chorus of like Killing Me Softly. And then they would just cut to commercial. I'm like, why are we even doing this?
I mean, it sounded like a cat backing up, right? Like, like it just sounded like cat vomit. It was terrible.
It was.
Hey Todd, do you want to step on some shit?
Sure.
How about that new Halsey song?
All right, we are going to move on to the mixed reception from here, and this one has split the song versus song crew here. I really like that Halsey song, and someone in here did not.
You're afraid of her, Todd, you coward.
I am.
You're
not.
afraid of Halsey, and we all know it. She called you out once, and like a baby, you were like, "I like some of your stuff."
Yes, that is exactly what happened.
Just destroyed you. You're destroyed.
No.
Anyway,
it was
that song's not very good. It was very like, I don't know.
I thought that song was really good, but part of it is, because I liked that it was a straight up minivan rock song from 2002. Staging of it, like I think we all agree, this was definitely inspired by Lindsay Lohan's character in Freaky Friday, right?
Yeah.
100%.
What didn't you like about it?
It just, when you do that kind of stuff, like, I don't know, like, there still has to be something that, like, has that little surprise, that little moment where the song stops for a second and then it comes in hard, or, like a nice, cool little bit of falsetto, or, like, a cool harmony, or, I don't know, just, and I couldn't really get the vibe on, like, the lyrics, like, what we were really doing with the song, and I don't know, just everything about it was, like weird sitcom staging.
I don't know, you didn't like that she was playing guitar that she wasn't actually playing.
Oh, that is a huge pet peeve of mine. I said that in the chat.
Yeah.
Where I was like, it always bugs me. Like, if you don't know how to play guitar at all, please don't do that. Like, at least learn how to play 3 chords and then put your hand in the configurations. I'm not asking not to be lied to. I'm asking to be lied to at least somewhat competently. I beg.
I didn't actually notice if she was playing guitar or not. I'll have to take your word for it. I do know that, like I said, I did see Katy Perry in Vegas. There is points where she breaks out a guitar and starts riffing, and I'm like, I can tell that's not plugged in. That's probably not even a real guitar. Like that's like I'm trying to see if there's even strings on it.
Just starts doing the intro to Through the Fire and Flames. I guess I have to be like the centrist tiebreaker here between like on how we feel about Halsey. My first instinct is to say that I liked the song.
That's good. That's one for me.
Yeah, well, because here's the thing. It does sound like it came from 2002, and my dipshit little brain is like, wow, early 2000s, you were a kid then. This is the music you listened to when you were a kid. Isn't this cool that it's back? Wow, great, awesome.
Yeah, no,
you were 5.
I have been dying to hear someone that sounds like Fifi Dobson or one of the other Avril Lavigne wannabes that popped up in her wake.
Yeah, this could have been played on Radio Disney with a censored version.
Yeah.
I will say that I think that I'm not sure how I feel about the song as a whole, just in the sense of like, I'd have to listen to it a few times to really catch it. I definitely think it needed some more changes and things like that. I feel like it might be one that works better in the context of like a greater album than it does like in the middle of the VMAs, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, if I actually hear like a studio recording of it, maybe there's steps of it that I'm missing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I definitely think that like I would love to hear like the actual like studio version of it just to see what the production sounds like, you know, get a lot of that, you know, intricacies of it, see if they're actually playing guitar on it. You know, maybe there are some shredding in there that Halsey is doing. I don't know. But I liked it, but I also I could not tell you what the song sounds like right now at this moment in time.
Yeah. Another mixed review I'd give to is Lisa.
Yeah.
I think New Woman is a pretty good song. I like that one right away. I think she did it as a pairing with Rockstar, and I don't think that song's good at all. I liked her first song, did not like her second song. Not a fan.
Yeah, this was my first time hearing both of those songs, and I was like, New Women? Great. Rockstar? That started, and I was like, I don't know what this is. This doesn't sound good.
Yeah. Rauw Alejandro, nothing.
Yeah.
That was a nothing performance. And I don't know if I have said this during the many VMAs we have covered here, but like I think I'm fully anti-Anita at this point. They have consistently pushed her every year, and not once has one of those songs caught on. And I don't know, maybe pairing with DJ Khaled and Fat Joe is the push she needs.
That DJ Khaled bump.
Yeah, gotta get that Jennifer Lopez's therapist bump.
But like I don't know, I've just never been impressed with Anita, and it's starting to feel really shoved down my throat when I watch these awards. She's become like the Her of the MTV VMAs. Like she only exists to be at this award show. Like just like Her is for the Grammys.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like I was like saw her a bit in the pre-show, and I was like, who is this person? Like they're talking about how she's won so many VMAs and how she's like, you know, very acclaimed and like well known and stuff like that. I've not heard a single thing about Anita, and I looked her up and I'm like, I still know nothing about Anita because it seems like it's just the VMAs.
Yeah. I keep up with the Hot 100. Anita has never really made an impact there. Like just through osmosis, I have, you know, learned who Karol G is and Rosalia is, and those are like those feel like actual people who matter. At least this side of the equator. Like maybe Anita is really big down south, but she's never done much up here. And I've never been impressed. So there you go.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it was a bad performance, but nothing from it like really stuck with me.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never felt her. You know, it's funny. You mentioned how she's won a lot of VMAs. usually by this point in the podcast, we have talked about like the awards themselves.
There were awards at this show?
Every year I am shocked at how less and less the awards matter. I think they gave out like 4, like they didn't even give out hip hop of the year anymore. Like the MTV VM.
Yeah, it's like best Latin, best Afro beats. Like it's interesting, the picks.
It felt like they picked it not based on like what would get the most views like there, but like who was there at the time. Like we'll say best K-pop on stage because Lisa's here. Like we'll do best Latin on stage because Anita's here. So on and so forth.
I think it's interesting they didn't even give best hip hop on stage because they gave it to Eminem. Eminem was there. And I think it's like the MTV has been so degraded as there are already hip hop awards, the BET awards. That's where the things actually happen.
Yeah.
So like I guess at this point they have declared themselves redundant in that regard. There is no K-pop awards and there is no Latin pop awards, or at least I guess the Latin Grammys if they count. Do they even show those anymore? I don't even know. Just out of having, and there's certainly no Afro beats.
Yeah.
So like they gave out best Afro beats on stage. That's like so weird to me. Like there's not even like an Afro beats like radio format in this country. And
that was so. Is that like a thing they've done in previous years? Is that a category they usually have?
Apparently they gave it out last year, but I don't remember them giving it out on stage. The MTV VMAs have become such a strange beast that they give out K-pop and Afro beats and Latin awards, but not rock or R&B or hip hop or pop for that matter.
Yeah, that one's a weird one because Taylor Swift won that one apparently, according to Wikipedia. Taylor was there.
Yeah, and Taylor won several awards. She won.
Yeah. She won 2. She basically opened and closed the night.
Right.
Yeah.
She did not announce a new album.
Thank God.
She announced that you should vote. That's nice of her. But
yeah, she came out dressed as like 1995 era ska.
She did.
Yeah.
And then she closed by saying that she wanted to believe.
She came out in a different dress for her second award, where she won the big one of the night, Video of the Year.
Presented by Burger King.
Yes, the Burger King wishes to congratulate.
I don't know. The other years she has won this, I think there was a pretty strong case that those are in fact the biggest song of the year. Fortnite, I don't know. That feels.
I have literally never heard that song until tonight. Admittedly, I've been kind of avoiding Tortured Poets Department, but I have not heard a single song from it in my own natural coming ups of travel or listening to Spotify or anything. It just never shows up anywhere for me. I
mean, I've heard it quite a few times, but like, I force myself to listen to these over and over again. And
yeah, I mean, like, I was like, I've certainly heard Lunch more than this, but I don't know that I would say that I like Lunch.
Dinner person.
Like what's that?
Dinner person.
That's a song I wish I liked more, but I like other songs off of that Billy album.
Like, I say this every year, but like, if you're not going to treat the awards seriously, like, it doesn't really feel like there's any point in watching this. It felt like there was more point this year because they had a couple of the, the biggest stars, and they delivered. Mm-hmm. They booked Olivia Rodrigo back when she was blowing up, and it didn't really feel like those performances really lived up to what the billing, and Chapell Roan did. So
I definitely think that like it was a big benefit to just be able to like get Chappell Roan and Sabrina Carpenter and all these other people like right at the height of the zeitgeist, where it's like they haven't made too many TV appearances, or at least in Chappell's case haven't made too many TV appearances, and so it's like, ooh, there's an exciting thing of like, what's this gonna be like, versus I guess Eminem's doing Houdini.
Oh,
Steve Miller Band, let's go.
Abra. I hate that the chorus is kind of catchy.
I mean, it is what it is. It is. I've never disliked that song, but like, if someone wants to tell me Abracadabra by the Steve Miller Band is a 0 out of 10 song, like, what's my counter argument?
Yeah.
It's just, it's not about whether it's good or bad. It's that it's profoundly, deeply uncool.
It's
That's
the
all.
stupidest song. Both of them.
Yeah. If we are talking about the handing out of awards, can we talk about the weird Flava Flav moment that started out the night?
I feel it's how sad it is that they have to, like, I barely remembered this story. This is like a month-old story, and it's as current as they're going to get. They got Jordan Childs to get her medal from Flava Flav, and boy, that bit went on forever. It was
It went on so long that I was like, some of this is not scripted.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I got you your money. And I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, I was like, it didn't feel like a bit. It felt like when someone talks to you while you're at like a coffee shop and you're just like, okay, cool, awesome, great, cool.
Please leave me alone.
No, that was like the only bit of the night, really.
Once again, I want to say the bit that I liked was Meg in the I'm a Slave for You Britney Spears outfit with the snake and her saying, I don't know this snake. I don't know why that tickled me so much, but I was like, I love you, Megan Thee Stallion.
There were some, I wouldn't call them bits, but just introduction segments that I liked. I thought bringing Paris Hilton was, that was hot. That was iconic.
She promoted her album just like she's been doing on Twitter for the last few months.
I get her. Yeah. I was honestly.
And Cyndi Lauper. Cyndi Lauper was there.
Yeah, Cyndi Lauper was there.
Cyndi Lauper. They made her introduce Sabrina Carpenter, and I feel like it is very cruel that they made her introduce someone with so many R's in her name. It's like, and now tonight, Sabrina Carpenter.
She really is like fully entering her Carol Kane era.
Yeah, she very much sounded like Carol Kane's character on Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Run, Lillian. Run, Cindy.
Going back to Paris Hilton, I had this like moment of fear and also joy when they were like coming on stage with a new album coming out, Paris Hilton. I was like, oh my God, are we going to get a performance?
Such a disappointment. Where was it?
Yeah, I was like, okay, cool. I guess we're getting Lisa from Blackpink. Sure, I guess. Can you bring Paris Hilton on stage?
I wanted Paris Hilton to come out and be like, and now introducing my friend with her like 20 years late album, Sky Ferreira. That's the fucking album drop I wanted at the VMAs. Sky Ferreira comes out and goes, I finished it. Here it is. It's live now. Could you imagine?
Much like Katy Perry is there to promote her newest album, mostly played her greatest hits, I think Paris Hilton should have been there to promote her newest album, but instead just play songs from Repo the Genetic Opera.
I mean, why not? We're already ending the night with fucking LL Cool J.
That would have been hot.
That would have been hot, LL Cool J didn't even do the deepest, bluest, My Hat Is Like a Shark Fin song.
Oh, like that was so weird that they ended with LL. Like
of all acts,
like that. Like we are seeing hip hop really get into its like classic rock era, where the old guys come out and they perform all their hits. Like he started with fucking Headsprung. That song's 20 years old and it's his newest hit.
Yeah. The thing that was weird for me is that they were like, oh, we're gonna end with like a dedication like medley to like Def Jam Records, and I was like, okay, cool, we're gonna get like a lot of legacy artists coming on stage and like doing a bunch of things. So it was like, nope, it is mostly LL Cool J.
Yeah. You had Public Enemy do one song.
Public Enemy. Kind of. They are.
For one song, and then they did more classics LL Cool J songs from 1988 to 1996.
Yeah, and here's the thing, like if I'm gonna watch one artist go between LL and Public Enemy?
No,
bro.
They could have saved this by having Brad Paisley come out. I'll say it.
He did it.
The night after the debate, this is the unity we need.
I did like that. Just to try and make him relevant, they pointed out that he's the one who coined the word goat, meaning greatest of all time.
And then they had pictures of literal goats.
They had pictures of goats.
Like they didn't like Meryl Streep. Like you didn't know what it was.
It very much is that like classic rock era of like, remember the song you like? It's on a T-shirt that you can get your dad now.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and also like Goat is the name of an LL Cool J album that like bombed hard. It didn't have any hits on it.
Oh, also Carson Daly was there to be like, happy 9/11, everybody.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that was the weird part of the night, because Taylor Swift also started by like doing a dedication to 9/11. And it was very strange because it was like, you know, I want to just, before I get into it, just remember like what happened in New York 23 years ago today. Waking up in New York, all I could think about is the lives that were lost, and just thank the people who dedicated their lives to saving others on that horrific day. I want to thank my video team who helped me put this together.
It's like, hey, can I like, maybe this is again controversial, but like, it's an off number year, guys. We don't have to talk about it. Like, here's the thing. First of all, probably should not have done this on 9/11. Second of all, even if you did, honestly, if you go, it's year 23, talk about it year 25. We're out. We're over 2 decades out from when it happened. I was in college when that happened. I remember every second of it. We don't have to talk about it at the VMAs at year 23. It's okay to just go like, they know.
I mean, it's okay to forget. We said never forget, but it's okay to forget every now and then. I mean, this wasn't supposed to happen on 9/11. Like, you know that, right? Like, it was supposed to happen on 9/10.
That's right. And then they moved it.
Because of the debate. Because we had to, you know, all watch, Donald Trump talk about how they're eating the dogs and they're eating the cats.
I'll tell you, that's what the VMAs is missing.
The transgender illegal aliens that Sabrina Carpenter kissed tonight.
There you go. Well, that, I guess you're right. That was there. But I truly it would have been pretty funny. Like, Taylor Swift should have came out and said, like, I want to thank the cats and the dogs. They were delicious. Yeah. Thank you.
I mean, Taylor Swift should have just come out and said, I want to thank the Cats for her role in Cats 2019. I think another moment that really stuck out to me, I don't know why I found it funny, but just Orlando Bloom coming out to introduce Katy Perry threw me the fuck out.
And yeah, and Todd, you kind of correctly identified that, like, there's something kind of toxic about her. So, yeah, like who else are they going to get? And it's like, well, it's safe to say that her husband's going to do it.
Yeah, like that. No one can get mad at him for introducing his wife. I was kind of suspected they weren't going to even show anyone dancing to her admittedly good performance except Orlando Bloom, but they did show some other people, including Taylor Swift.
They showed Taylor Swift.
Yes, well, they showed Katy scissoring, and then they cut to Orlando Bloom like, see, it's cool, guys.
My boyfriend don't mind it.
Don't mind it.
Incredible. All right, is there anything else that we have on the docket? We've been talking for a while.
No, I think that covers pretty much everything.
Yeah.
The good stuff was good. It was fun to make fun of the stuff that was bad.
Please stop inviting Camila Cabello to things. And woof, Jesse Murph. But for the most part, I think this was a good performance, a good show by the low standards of a 2020s VMAs. I liked it.
Chapell Roan, great. Sabrina Carpenter, competent plus, and she's just great. Just seeing her is like, she's good. It's nice that she was there.
LL Cool J's still alive.
He's still alive. Hopefully this does not age poorly when this drops. No, I mean, I was kind of on the fence when we started this, but I think having talked it through, I think I kind of agree with you, Todd. I think this is the best of the VMAs I've watched, for sure.
You've literally only watched this one.
You've watched one. Yeah. This one.
Yeah. And it's the best one of the ones I've watched. So
I mean, it's the trust us, it could get much worse. Where we should have had you to watch some of the really, really sloggy ones.
Honestly, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I think the performances really carried it through. Like, I watch the Oscars every year, so I'm used to watching like 4-hour boring ass padded award shows. And this one, at least, the main thing that surprised me is just how little awards were actually given out. Here I was prepping. I was like, I have to research all these nominees and like what they do in their songs. And it's like, no, I'm not gonna fucking see them.
Nope. Yeah, those There are no awards anymore. Yeah, I was shocked too. I'm shocked every year. Like there's always less awards.
Yes. That was the video music appearances.
Yes. Thanks everyone.
Bye.
Bye.